All right. Welcome, fam, internet fam, Saturday morning live stream. This channel is pretty small. I don't know how many people are actually going to watch this, but I figured I'd put it out there. This channel, I'm just going to talk about things that interest me, alternative news, alternative health stuff, alternative a lot of stuff, because I question the mainstream narrative on a lot of things in this world, and yeah, I just want to share this with other people. And I don't care if people think I'm a wacko, crazy, whatever. I view it as a good thing that I look at a lot of different things, and I find things that are interesting, and I want to share them with people in the hopes that that they will be beneficial to somebody at some point in their life. And I feel like if nothing else, like it'll be a good way for me to remember the stuff that remember the stuff that I've looked into if I ever need it. Today in this video, in this live stream, I want to talk about parasites. I want to talk about them potentially being a cause of a lot of diseases, including cancer or a lot of cancers. Some things you can do about it that other people have said. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a virologist. I'm not an immunologist. Consult a physician, all that kind of stuff. Do your own research. Make your own decisions. It is your life. You got to make your own decisions and stuff. But I'm gonna take us around. We're gonna watch a couple videos, some segments of some different videos, and just cover some different things. And you guys leave a comment, whether you join the live stream or not, or you see this after the fact. Leave a comment. What are your thoughts on things? Who do you value in terms of their opinion on YouTube or elsewhere? Like, because I know a lot of people, they'll get information about stuff from a lot of people. So who do you look at? I watch a lot of people, a lot of different content on YouTube, and that's just me. Okay, so I'm going to switch over and I'm going to play. So like in the US, you will often hear that, oh, we don't really have parasites. It's not really, no, that's not us. It doesn't happen here. This is the third world thing. And I don't believe that's the case at all. At all. I think, we can all pretty much accept that our pets get parasites. We have heartworm treatments, deworming protocols for cats and dogs, right? Duh. Why wouldn't we be able to also get parasites? You can get them from pretty much anything, right? They're just out there in the wild. So it's kind of interesting. This is a very interesting video I saw. It's a 2-minute video. We're going to watch it. This is about your cat. Like if you have a cat, this is fascinating. Like they've got a parasite that basically allows them to alter your mind, like a form of mind control. And this is also one of the reasons why pregnant women are told to stay away from cat litter, because apparently in cat litter boxes, this is where the parasites basically find a home, right? And it can spread pretty easily. This is why they tell pregnant women not to do it, because you don't want that type of situation. So anyway, so let's just play this video. Let's see what this thing says. I think this is fascinating, interesting. The mind controlling parasite you contract from your cat, and I'm gonna get off the screen so we can see this in its full glory here. So here we go.
Toxoplasmosis is a single-celled organism that you might have heard called the cat poop parasite. It's a little tiny microscopic being that cats spread, and cats of all kinds, not just house cats, but lions and tigers and jaguars, spread this organism, and it breeds in their intestines, essentially. All different kinds of mammals can get it, including humans. Once you get it, you have it forever. Basically, you get the...
Okay, I want to make a comment here. I do not agree with everything that's said. So when somebody says that if you get sick or you get a parasite or you get whatever, you have it forever, it's incurable, I don't often agree with that. Now, if I lose my leg, right, my leg's gone forever. I can get a pseudo leg, like a prosthetic or something. But when somebody says that something can't be cured, you have this parasite, you have this disease forever, I don't like that, because it basically shoves people down the path of get on this pill, get on this treatment every day for the rest of your life. You can't be cured. Anyway, let's continue. I'm going to get off the screen and only like 2 minutes left. So let's listen to her.
the parasite from either having direct contact with cat feces or by eating another kind of mammal, another secondary host that can cause birth defects and blindness and neurological problems. But it's only recently that people have sort of started wondering about the effects that it can have on adult people. There's kind of increasing awareness that it may lead to certain mental health conditions. It can infiltrate our brains and form these tissue cysts up there. And some scientists think that it may lead to psychological problems as diverse as, rage disorders to schizophrenia. These little parasites, when they get into our bodies, they have these unknown effects, but may destabilize the mental makeup of people who already have a sort of genetic propensity towards schizophrenia. So it's not to say that they think it causes schizophrenia, but if you have in your genetic makeup some risk factors for schizophrenia, toxoplasmosis could be one of the things that sort of tips you over the edge into being an actual schizophrenic. People who have these cysts, whose immune systems are kind of constantly at battle with this parasite, just don't feel well in a lot of ways, and they may get sort of inflammation in various areas of their brain, and that might be what leads to these different kind of psychiatric problems that we see in people who have toxoplasmosis. And that's not to say that everybody with toxoplasmosis has psychiatric problems. It's just that it's like an increased likelihood of having these problems.
Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. Okay, so this is I'm going to pause this. I'll play this one next. But let me switch this. So it's fascinating to me. Like there's not a whole lot out there that you will find on YouTube, for example, about parasites being the cause of diseases, or at least an exacerbator to them. But it is fascinating to find, right? And so this is like, people don't even think about this. They're like, oh, I don't have parasites. I'm an American, right? I live in America's first world country. I don't have them. It's not causing any problems. Whereas like a lot of people have cats and dogs, right? They're like, this I thought was fascinating. So it's like your cats are basically, it's almost like self-preservation mode. They have this parasite and they're like, well, I've got this parasite. I'm going to give it to you. And then you're in love with me. I've seen other videos where they refer this as like the love potion, or love parasite from cats, like because they want to influence their owners. Very fascinating stuff. There is, I'm not going to play a whole lot of it, but there is, in the spiritual community, there's this view of our parasites,
vibration,
physical things like in our body. Are they basically an expression of what we often refer to as demons, like from the spiritual side? Now, if you look at like life, right? If you look at levels of things, you've got at the base level, we have things like biology, like our cells, and then we have organisms that can live in there, like parasites, right? Then we have like at higher levels, we talk about our energetic bodies, right? Frequency and stuff. And then at even higher levels, you talk about consciousness, spirituality, high level stuff. So it's fascinating to me. I'll play just a little bit of this. I'm going to move on to the next video. We're going to cover a couple of different videos. All right, you can watch this stuff. You can find this stuff pretty easily on YouTube if you want to do a deep dive into this. It's just, it's fascinating to me. Okay, so let's listen to this guy a little bit.
And frequency is everything. It is literally everything. If you take an aspirin, it changes the way you vibrate. And so it blocks the nerves so that you can't feel pain. If you take deworming programs, you change your vibration, and you change your vibration so dramatically that the worms and parasites either have to get out of you, this is no longer a good home, or they die in you. My name is Wayne Rowland. I'm just like you. I have heard that there's a for disease that's been suppressed. I have cancer. I'm not going to accept the modality of the day. I need to know if there's a suppressed out there, and I offer a $10,000 reward. I had to hire 8 people to man the phones in 2 shifts, but one man called me. One man. And he impressed me. And he said, there's not one cancer that's been suppressed, there's been 5. Which one do you want to know about? I said, whatever one works. He sent me to somebody that had an original Rifer A unit, and I used it. 3 months later, the was gone.
So this is fascinating too, a different discussion about frequency, right? A different, because our bodies can be healed by, I think, a lot of things. Like you can, like say you've got a tumor, for example. One way to heal your body is for a doctor to basically carve it out of your body, to remove the physical thing from it. Another is to take medication, or maybe do something like chemotherapy or radiation, right? Then potentially you could also maybe get rid of it. Some people have reduced tumors and gotten rid of their tumors by taking Fenben and antiparasitics. And then, at a different level, we have frequency, sound healing. That can, because we are energetic bodies at the end of the day, we are. So this is another way where, it could be healed. So I find this stuff fascinating, and there's not a ton of stuff out there. I guess the accepted mainstream version comes right from the doctors. If you get cancer, you should go on chemotherapy or radiation, and there is no cure for cancer. Like we have this that we are hoping to fight cancer. We have all these organizations that are like hoping to do it and saying that they're doing it, but like really what's been done? Not a whole lot's been done. Not a whole lot has changed in mainstream medicine in decades, right? In decades. So I question that. Okay, so there's another woman that I watched. This I think her name is.
Do you know that
Pam.
researchers have found?
So I'm gonna play just a little bit of this. So I think her name is Pam.
Do you know that researchers
Okay,
have
pause
found?
this, pause this. We'll redo it, Pam. Okay, so Pam is somebody. She has had. I gotta switch this so I'm like put me in the other corner. She has had multiple sclerosis, MS. And she wasn't satisfied with basically what the doctors told her, that it was incurable. So she went on her own dumpster dive and did research, and she got to the point where she believed that, parasites were the cause of a lot of her MS, her symptoms. And so she went on a protocol, and she got rid of her, or at least got rid of like the vast majority of her symptoms of MS. I've got a friend of the family who has very bad MS. It just absolutely destroys you. Guess what they found? Pam talks about this. I think her name is Pam. If I'm mistaken, I apologize. But her channel is Live Disease Free. Okay, she's done videos on this. I'll have to find it at some point. This is not the video, but where she's done where doctors were able to get a hold of, I think, 10 cadavers of deceased MS patients. Right? They were dead. They died. They had multiple sclerosis, died. They went to whoever was doing it's not a regular mortician, like they basically had a virologist or somebody take a look at their body. And what they found was fascinating. They found dead parasites in the brains and the spinal cords of MS patients, people who died with MS. Parasites were present in the brain and the spinal cord. That stuff is right in your central nervous system. MS wreaks havoc on your central nervous system. Okay, so to me, it says, just from my standpoint, I'm not a doctor, right? But I personally, this is something, if I knew somebody with MS or that was open to actually, doing this, or if I was ever diagnosed with MS, I would absolutely start on an antiparasitic. Okay, but she's got great stuff. I'm not going to play her video. We're going to just jump around. This is not going to be a very long live stream. Hopefully, I don't know. This is a video. We're going to play a couple seconds of this. Cancer is caused by parasites. This is a video from the 1970s. I don't know who
those
this is.
Microparasites, how they behave, and why there is indisputable proof that cancer indeed is a microparasitical infection, and that mainstream cancer research has not recognized it yet as such. And this theory was put forward by Dr. Weber and some other scientists from the Max von Pettenkofer Institute, a very renowned institute in Munich, Germany, and unfortunately has not gained much traction despite the proof that you're gonna see in this video. So without further ado, let's watch the video and what those scientists have observed, and you can see for yourself and make up your own opinion and mind. And then afterwards, we're gonna talk about some implications of that proof and some consequences that we can draw from it, and how we should behave and how we should treat cancer patients therefore. So without further ado, let's dive right into the video proof of cancer as a parasitical infection. Let's go more than 30 years
So
back
this
in
is going to
time.
be
At
a
the renowned
longer video,
patent cover
20 minutes.
institute.
20 minutes. I'm not going to sit through this whole thing, but it's fascinating. I've seen other videos too where doctors, virologists, people who are, I guess, broadly in the medical field, they might not have MD behind their name, that have done studies on this. One very famous person, at least she's famous from my perspective, is Dr. Hulda Clark. She's passed away now, but she did a ton of research, and basically her thesis was that parasites were the cause of most, if not all, cancers and diseases in the human body. And she spent a lot of her life producing products, giving out information to help people using natural herbs like black walnut hull, sweet wormwood, stuff like that. And then also using frequencies. Like she had a frequency generator that she sold. You can still find this. It's like the Hulda Clark Zapper is what it's called. Fascinating stuff. Also, it's like the ivermectin got a bad rap.
But when you have chronic liver
Back.
Those microparasites,
Hold on a second. This is a short. I got to play it. So ivermectin got a huge bad rap in COVID 5 years ago. Like if you thought ivermectin was good for you or were recommending it, people were getting their videos taken down. They were getting their channels taken down. They were getting just absolutely attacked by people. Ivermectin has been around for a long time. It's been used on animals safely. I have treated myself as a guinea pig and taken some. I'm like, I want to see if I'm going to have negative side effects. I haven't. I believe that I had benefits. I think I had a cold or something was affecting me when I took it, and it felt like I got over it fairly quickly. So we'll watch this guy's video. This is short. It's only 48 seconds. So we're going to play it and see what he has to say.
But when you have chronic liver cells, what you want to do is take multiple. Remember, you don't just take ivermectin. And you take ivermectin, fenbendazole and/or menbendazole, and niclosamide, praziquantel. And then 3 weeks on, 1 week off, 3 weeks on, 1 week off, 1 week on. Why? Because they lay a lot of eggs, and these eggs hatch, and it keeps coming back. So the ivermectin, you'll do that. Maybe the 3 weeks on, 1 week off, and the 1 week off, you're doing the antifungals. You might do that 6 cycles. It depends. I've had people have to do it up to 12. You need someone to check you with your meridian testing, because there's no way to find it out with conventional laboratory studies and all that. You're not going to find it because they're in your tissues. So the only way is by using the acupuncture meridian test or muscle testing, things like that. You can to look at energy disruptions in energy flow.
So it was, I think it was kind of fascinating. Let me pause this. We're going to go back. So he listed a bunch of things that he recommended. I don't know who this guy is, right? Just a guy on the internet. Could be a doctor. Could be a natural health practitioner. I don't know. I've heard this stuff from other people. I'm just playing his video because I found it and it summed up a lot of things. So I've taken and seen recommended that people take fenbendazole, mebendazole. He talked about praziquantel, that and ivermectin. Those are both antiparasitics. He mentioned another one that I wasn't familiar with, but then he did in that video mention that take an antifungal, and I would bet if we actually looked that up, it would be found to be an antifungal. So there's a lot of stuff that can affect our bodies, and it's, I don't know, it's like an alternative. If you've never heard about this stuff, it's definitely an interesting deep dive into this kind of stuff. So this is a cancer survivor by the name of Joe Tippens. He came out several years ago. He published his protocol, like what he did to cure himself of cancer naturally. And one of the things he did is he took fenbendazole. He took it specifically in a product called Panicure. Panicure C, it's a dog dewormer, an antiparasitic. He took that along with cannabis oil, and I think he did one other thing. And he's cancer-free. And other people have followed his protocol that he's published, and they've done really good. So this is like, this is just a video. It's like you can find this kind of stuff online. Now let's start it. We're not going to watch the whole thing.
2 years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 4 inoperable pancreatic cancer. Against the odds, I'm still here. In those dark days, I searched for survivor stories and came across Joe Tippens, a stage 4 lung cancer patient who incredibly sent his disease into remission using an unconventional protocol involving a dog dewormer drug. As many comments suggest I try fenbendazole over 3 videos, I'll share why Joe inspires me, my reasons for trying, and my reasons for stopping fenbendazole. After being diagnosed with stage 3 small cell lung cancer, which had widely metastasized to 40 or 50
stuff is
locations
interesting to me.
following
And
standard
if you,
treatments,
let me pause this.
Joe
so you can actually
Tippens
hear
was...
me. I've watched other channels too where people have taken Panicure, which is like the commercial packaged version of fenbendazole, and have had very good results. I've also seen people with cancer who have taken it that did not make it. And so I don't know, like maybe I don't think it's gonna solve problems for everyone. You know, I don't think there's a magic bullet for everything because you never know how aggressive something is or where it came from or what it's made of. I also don't know, like people don't really disclose like how often they're taking something, what the dosage is, and how else, you know, what else they're doing. So it's not like a controlled environment. So what are we looking at here? So one guy, if you're into like alternative health and stuff, this guy, Dr. Berg, is awesome. Okay. Dr. Berg is absolutely awesome.
Let's talk about the...
So he's awesome. He's got so many videos that are very beneficial for people. And you should definitely check out his channel. Dr. Eric Berg, DC is his channel. He talks about a lot of stuff. I have a lot of respect for him. He will talk about things that are unconventional. And in this video, he's talking about the herbs that are good for antiparasitic. And this is a lot of stuff that Dr. Hulda Clark first came out with, or she was one of the first people I heard about. So we talk about sweet wormwood, black walnut hull. There's also garlic, clove. I also have heard that other things like red clover extract can also be very helpful. There are other things too. It's not like these are the only things. These are just some very common things that I have seen, that I have heard, that seem to be beneficial. Some of you, if you started following me around COVID, even if you didn't, but you probably heard about this guy, Dr. John Campbell.
It really makes you want...
So Dr. John Campbell, he first became popular. He's got 3.2 million subscribers, man. This guy has been a powerhouse in terms of making videos. I first found him when COVID came around, and he was talking about COVID. He's not actually a doctor, like an MD. I think he's a nurse practitioner. I think that's where he came from. I think he's got a doctorate in something else. So he's not a medical doctor, but he does a ton of research. He's learned a lot. He was on board with the COVID narrative at the start, but he's changed his position based on the research he's done. You know, and he's looked at a lot of stuff. This is a video where he talks about fenbendazole for cancer, where he talks about the studies that it should be, in his opinion and other people's opinion, be researched more heavily, because it is being recommended, especially by third world doctors and vets, like this is effective for animals. It's an anti-cancer in animals, right? So we should try this out, put it through trials in humans. The problem is I doubt it will ever happen because there's no money to be made in antiparasitic. You can get Panicure very cheaply from Amazon, a vet supply store. There's no money in it. Like, they're not going to be able to make billions of dollars from this. So they're not going to put money into funding this stuff. Why would they want to say we've got an easy cure for cancer, or for 80% of cancers, or 90%, if that's what it ended up being? Why would they do that? There's no money. That the whole industry would collapse because it's, you know, it's cheap, easy, effective solution. No, it would not be. So another channel that is very good is a channel called Performance Medicine. So this guy talks about some alternative treatments. He talks about fenbendazole. Also artemisinin is also thought to be very good for anti-cancer treatment. And these are all things that you can get over the counter. Hey, Dan, good to see you. Yes, he is all for more research and getting better results. Yeah, he does, Dr. John, he does I have to give him major kudos, man. He does a really good job putting out content, doing a deep dive. He has to be careful what he says, too. Everybody does who talks about alternative stuff, because you have to be very careful how you word things so you can get deplatformed or your videos removed, stuff like that. But this guy, I forget his name. Oh, Dr. Tom Rogers, right there in the title. Dr. Tom. I like his stuff. We'll play just a few seconds, and then we'll pop over to the next thing.
Hi, this is Dr. Tom Rogers at the Common Sense MD, coming to you with a weekly podcast. Today, I want to talk about something that's controversial, somewhat, and something that patients ask me all the time about an alternative treatment for cancers. As you know, we've made tremendous strides in treating heart disease. Cancer, not as much.
I'm not gonna watch the whole video. Definitely, he's got a lot of good stuff. If you ever have cancer, or if you know somebody who does, and they're open-minded, it could be worth a watch. Dr. John also had a video where he talked about fenbendazole and ivermectin. You see how he's shortening the name IBEM and Fenben. He's got to be a little careful too. Like if he were to say ivermectin here, the video might get banned, right? It's just like they don't like ivermectin talk because why? It's effective, maybe. I don't know, and cheap and readily available without a prescription, probably. But he talks about in this video, he talks about people's experiences using fenbendazole and ivermectin to cure cancer, right? So it's definitely worth the watch. That was all I wanted to talk about those are all the videos I wanted to talk about in this live stream, right? So, I don't know, for a long time, I have been interested in alternatives to mainstream thought because I sort of look at it, I'm like, I don't know who to trust. There are conflicts of interest, like doctors in the pharmaceutical industry. There's a conflict of interest because if they give out good advice that makes people healthy, then they have no need for their job. We don't have any need for them. We have less of a need for them versus if they don't share what can really help us, it allows the medical industry to grow. And they are constantly searching for a cure for cancer or Parkinson's or Alzheimer's or whatever, but never find it. They're just constantly searching. So their machine, so to speak, can grow. They can get bigger. The organizations grow. They get more funding. They get more donations, and they just grow. Versus, what's out there that could potentially help people. That really help people, and maybe not all people. I'm not saying that ivermectin or fenbendazole or anything can cure 100% of anything, but if there's evidence, even non-clinical evidence that it can cure a lot of people or reduce tumors and reduce their cancer in a massive way without chemotherapy, radiation, and harmful stuff like that, then isn't it worth investigating? From just a high level perspective of being a human, I would say yes, but these corporations aren't going to do it. There's no money there, right? So why would you do it? So there was I think I saw it on Facebook, not on YouTube. I've seen a couple of videos, fascinating, and I was trying to find it the other day and I could not locate it again, but I saw there was a video that a doctor in I think a third world country put out. He opened up a cancerous tumor, right, and pierced it, and he's like, look inside, and there were a bunch of little parasites in there. The tumor was essentially the body's way of trying to contain the parasites. The body knew that the parasites were bad, and it's like, I gotta wall these bad boys off, put them in the tumor. So from that perspective, you could argue that at least some tumors are the body's way of protecting oneself or your body from toxins, from parasites, from foreign elements that are not good for you. So the classical view that you're going to hear from everybody is that cancer is bad. Cancer needs to be destroyed. Cancer needs to be eradicated. And somebody put out a good video. I don't know if I can even find this on YouTube. I think I found it on Facebook or someplace. Is trying to they'll say if you look, cancer is a disease, right? But maybe cancer is the cure to cure you. I don't think I'm going to find it on YouTube. I think I found it on Facebook. where I saw that stuff, where it's like, let's just watch this. Doctors don't want to cure cancer.
A pill has just been created and it appears to kill cancer.
Scientists may have discovered the holy grail of cancer treatments that can kill tumor cells without damaging our normal ones. It's called AOH 1996 and it targets an abnormal protein called PCNA, which is essential for ovarian, skin, lung, breast, and brain cancers to continue growing. It was named after Anna Olivia Healy, who was born in 1996 and unfortunately didn't make it after her battle with cancer. What you're seeing is untreated cancer cells on the left and those exposed to AOH 1996 on the right, almost eradicated. What's even crazier about this medication is even at levels 6 times that necessary to produce a therapeutic effect, it still doesn't cause significant or serious harm to our normal human cells. These results were so promising that it actually started human trials in these 2 locations, which are due to complete in September this year. I'll definitely be keenly aware.
A pill has just been created and it appears to kill cancer.
Scientists may have discovered the holy grail of cancer treatments that can kill tumor cells without damage.
If that's true, that's promising. The problem I've seen is I've seen research stuff come out like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and they're like, oh, we're doing research and it shows promise. And then it just gets buried. It just gets buried. So, there was somebody, I think I saw him on Facebook. So you could also, a lot of people use fasting or intermittent fasting to basically starve cancer. That's probably what this video is about. I've watched it apparently in the past. But like fasting does a lot of good things for your body. I think I heard that once your body enters autophagy, which starts like 12 to 14 hours, I think something like that, after you stop eating, that your body starts to eat itself, and what it goes after first are like the toxins, and then the fat cells, stuff like that. But it's like, all right, I'm hungry. Guess what? You guys didn't feed me, so I'm going to start cannibalizing myself, and it's going to start taking the bad parts first. So I think fasting is something to look into if you or somebody you ever know has some kind of disease, whether it's cancer or something else. Fasting probably has a place in there, in your life, in your protocol, your treatment protocol for evaluation. Hey Tab, good to see you. Dan B says, have you heard of LifeWave technology? I don't know if I've heard about that exactly. I have heard about, like what, let's see if we wave technology. Camera. So I don't know if this is like these are the patches or what, if this is what you're talking about. It might be this, might be something else. So I don't know if this is it. Maybe you can make a comment. Anna says ivermectin and Fenben works at high doses. Yeah, so actually there is a Discord. If you guys aren't a member of this, I set this Discord up like a year ago. And let me just do, how do I do an invite? I'll post it in the chat. Invite people. So if you are, let's do unlimited. Copy the link. I'm going to drop it in the chat. You got a Discord. If you have never used Discord, it's just like an online messaging platform. There are different categories in there for stuff. And there's a lot of stuff that I and other people have posted over the past year. So, like, for example, and I posted a lot of videos that I found. Like this section on parasites and disease. I posted some from Pam, like in the multiple sclerosis stuff. Right, like this, like Optimum Health, like this guy is saying, like, for people who have chronic illnesses, it's common to find parasites in them. Now, it's like, okay, so you could just abstractly, you could say, well, do you get parasites? Are you more prone to getting parasites because your body is in an unhealthy state? Or is your body in an unhealthy state because you've gotten parasites, or some mix of the two? You don't always know. I look at it, I'm like, well, I would think our natural state is to be healthy, unless we're eating a bunch of shit, right? But if we get parasites, like those things are bad boys. Like they're sucking off our life energy. Literally, they are, and they're releasing toxins in our body. It's not good. So, but there are sections on the Discord if you join where I posted videos and information about different parasite cleanses. Like Pam is talking about praziquantel as being one thing that could be used. Dr. Jin, I've seen his videos. He talks about berberine. This is an anti-parasitic, antiviral. Again, this guy, Dr. Tom, Fenbenzol, and this is the product that I think take Renew Life Parasmart. Yep, that's it. And that's like black walnut hull, stuff like that is in there. So, and different sections on alternative treatments for cancer, vitamin D, which is very beneficial. They don't push that hard enough. Alkalinity and baking soda, all that kind of good stuff. So if you're interested, join the Discord. Even if you don't post anything there, you might find stuff that's interesting. That's where, like, if I find something that I think is useful for other people or that I might want in the future, like if I'm diagnosed with something or if I have a health issue, I want it bookmarked someplace. And as long as I'm bookmarking things, I might as well share it with other people because maybe it'll help them. Good morning, Joe. How you doing? Welcome. Yeah, Tab says 12 to 16 hours is when autophagy starts. So it probably depends on you, right? But autophagy is it's supposed to be very good. This is like people that we hear about ketogenic diets, right? Autophagy, I think, kicks off like a ketone production. So this is one of the things that you can do to get in that. The carnivore diet and is supposed to be very good too for you. A lot of people have fixed their health problems just by switching to a carnivore diet. There's a lot of benefit for a lot of people. It may not work for everybody, but Tab says the process is further enhanced with prolonged fasting and significant autophagy occurring after 24 to 48 hours. Yeah, so that's kind of where probably the sweet spot is, right? If you can do that, if you're having health issues, if you can shoot for like a 24-hour plus fast, is probably the most ideal. Probably if you can do that. But even if you like subscribe to like the OMAD diet, 1 meal a day, or just if you're just eating within like a small time window within a day, like a 4-hour time window, for example, you should technically be able to get your body into autophagy once a day for a while, for a period of time, which probably is going to have benefits to you. Anna, good to see you. Anna says one vaxxed person has recently received microclot test results, and it shows that she has significant and widespread clotting. Yeah, that's not good. That is not good at all. A Tab says food should be our medicine. Let me just see if I can show these comments on stage. Live comments from viewers will appear on screen during the stream. Okay, so yeah. I should just show this. And these are showing really small. How do I get them bigger? Yeah, there we go. I agree, Tab. That's it should be. Food and just, it's not just food. It's what you drink too. It's also your mindset and just other stuff you do. But that's kind of the package. Quibono, welcome. Good morning. Thank you, sir. Dan B says he just started the carnivore, lost 20 pounds, started a 48-hour fast. Nice, kudos, man. The carnivore diet is supposed to be. I've seen videos. People have posted really good things about it, like really good things about it, where it can change their health status for the better in a massive way. Like they've had different issues for years. The doctors haven't been able to help them. And then they'll switch to like the carnivore diet, and magically like 6 months or so into it, like they just have a 180. And so there's something to that, right? And if you think about the carnivore diet, like back in the day, back in the caveman era day, right? We're not, there are no Doritos. We're not sitting around eating Doritos and processed foods back in the caveman day, right? We're hunting. Lifespan was probably a lot less back then. But I also don't know. I mean, there are stories like in the Bible and other things where people lived for hundreds of years, and we didn't have quote unquote modern medicine. We also didn't have processed foods, at least that we know of, in the form that we do, and the chemicals and all that kind of crap. So, yeah, I don't know. Tab says Dr. Eric Berg, Erica Berg, or I think you mean Eric Berg, is really good for holistic healing. He's a traditional doctor, but learn that our medical system is not to heal us. There's another guy, actually, I want to show his video. He is a veterinarian. I totally like him. I like him. He's got a vibe. I trust him. So where would I have posted? Let me see if I can find his stuff. I can't remember his name, but he's a vet, and he talks about fenbenzidol and stuff. And benzol let's see, I took fenbenzidol right here. This guy, Dr. Jones. This guy is like, let's go find him here. Let's go find him. Veterinary Secrets. This guy is solid, and this guy, you can just tell. Come on, Veterinary Secrets. This guy, I like his stuff. So he talks about, let me get myself out of the big view here. So Dr. Jones talks about a lot of things. Obviously, he's a vet, so he talks about things in relation to animals, right? That's his forte. But he also is about things like fenbenzidol and ivermectin and how people have used them, how they could be used in people to help with anti-cancer treatments. And this guy seems like a legit, honest guy. Like you kind of know when you find people. And so I'll go back to Discord because I probably linked his stuff and I saved it. So he's got a couple, like fenbenzidol as a cancer cure, right? But here's the thing with YouTube, with these alternative stuff, watch the videos. The videos might even say, well, this thing can't cure cancer, but the real gold is in the comment section where people will share their stories and the stories of people that they know. So in this post, I said the comment section is gold. Let's just go take a look at this.
I'm number 3 on Google. I was searching on Google for dog dewormers for cancer, and you'll never guess who just came up. But it was a professor and a surgeon at an Ontario University in Canada, debunking an unlicensed veterinary's claims that this deworming drug Panicure, it could be used as a cure for cancer. This is my 2 cents. So I went on to Google and I typed in dog dewormers for cancer. I see the first one, can dog deworming medicine treat breast cancer? Exceptional repositioning of a dog dewormer. And number 3, McMaster University. Sheila Singh debunks deworming drug as cancer cure. An unlicensed veterinarian's videos. Whoa. Unlicensed.
So this guy's he's really good. But the comment section here, I found it's like, like this person, my 9-year-old lab was diagnosed with some kind of sarcoma. The licensed vet offered to put him down for $600, but he found this guy's videos and applied the fenbenzidol Panicure. That was 2.5 years ago. He's still alive and healthy as ever, right? This person, one of my friends who had stage 4 pancreatic cancer, chose to go the alternative route and is alternating between taking fenbenzidol and ivermectin. She started a few months ago. She goes to church every week. Is getting better. This person, I started using fenbenzidol daily for stage 2 rectal cancer. After only 14 days, my tumor shrunk from 26 to 8. It's a miracle, unconventional method. Stuff like this. Like, I find the comment section to be gold. So this is where you see actual people. So this person, I had a small tumor on my pancreas, 2-time cancer survivor. I've been taking ivermectin for months, and my CT scan 2 weeks ago showed no tumor. So, I mean, it is what it is. Not saying that ivermectin, fenbenzidol, or anything is going to be able to cure all things, but maybe for a lot of things, for a lot of people, it could be very helpful. And it's so cheap, effective, and easily acquirable. I do not understand why they do not do more education for people and say, here's what we think, that the established medical people, here's what we think, but here's some other options. They may or may not work. Proceed at your own risk. Maybe it's because everybody's so afraid of dying. that they're like, I don't want any misinformation. So that they're so really hard on the medical boards and everything. I don't know. And it could be, it's just a big money maker too for the pharmaceutical industry. So, yeah. Okay, so here, Dr. Jones, my cat is alive after being diagnosed with lymphoma. The licensed vet wanted to start radiation and chemo right away. I said no, did research. He found out about fenbendazole from Dr. Jones's videos. Today, 6 months later, my cat has increased her body weight by 50%. Ultrasound finds no detectable masses in her intestine or kidney of cancer. You know, it's like I don't understand like why people, I mean, I kind of do. Like if in order to have credence to have validity on YouTube or on the internet, on a platform, you have to have MD behind your name, right? You have to be an expert. Otherwise people are like, well, you're just some dude on the internet, right? Why would we listen to you? So you have to have like MD behind your name in some form or fashion, right? And the problem is like these people have spent a ton of money and time going through school, building up their careers, and they're not going to want, most of them aren't going to want to put their asses on the line by coming out and saying ivermectin, fenbendazole, praziquantel, things like this are beneficial in terms of antiparasitics, helping to treat cancer or whatever. They're not going to want to say that. They could lose their license, and nobody wants that. I totally get it. So, okay, Tina says I have mammogram that showed 3 spots of concern. My doctor wanted to repeat the mammogram and include an ultrasound, but she decided to take ivermectin twice a day for that month between different tests. And the results of the second test, mammogram and ultrasound, showed no traces of those 3 spots, so they like just disappeared. So I've seen other comments and videos around the web where it's like somebody will go in, they will get a cancer diagnosis, like they'll get like an MRI, ultrasound, something, and say, well, you have tumors, you got cysts, you got whatever, and then that person goes on some alternative treatment thing, whether it's ivermectin or fenbendazole or something else, and then they go back for a second test, and the shit is just gone, and then the doctor's like, well, we must have misdiagnosed it. Must have been a fluke, right? Because that couldn't possibly have happened, because cancer doesn't just disappear. But it's that kind of stuff I look at and I go, I think there's some credence there. I personally I know that humans get parasites. At least I do. I'm not going to be like, well, I don't get parasites because I live in the United States of America. Like I try to do a parasite cleanse if I'm thinking about it and remember it like every 6 months. I haven't thought about, I don't think I'm doing one right now. I think the last time I did it was about a year ago. I don't do it for just like a week or two. I do it for 2 months because like these little shitheads in your body, these parasites, whatever form they come in, if you take an antiparasitic for like a week or two, you can kill a lot of the adults. The problem is the adults, they lay eggs. They're meant to be the ultimate infectors. And so their little spawn, the spawns of Satan that they lay, the eggs, I think they hatch like during the new moon or the full moon. It's tied to the moon cycles, okay? So you got to keep taking it to kill the babies. Otherwise, you just get reinfected by a whole brand new set of tapeworms, flukes, whatever the hell it is you have. And so you want to do as much as you can. I view it as like I'm constantly picking up parasites, whether it's from like vegetables that I eat or meat that I eat or my dog or something. I'm picking it up. I know that. I'm not going to like sit and be like, oh, I'm not picking up stuff. And so I know that stuff gets in my body, that my body is a pretty decent like oven. It's a little oven. Like, what do they call those? Like when I was a kid, they had like the little ovens. What were they? You guys know what I'm talking about. The little ovens, the bake, you could stick a batter in there and it has a little light bulb. What the hell were those things called? My body's a pretty good version of that. Look, if I get something, it can grow and spread because I feed my body, right? It's like, and they're like, yay, we get free food. So I like every couple months, I go on this thing and I get stuff out where I'm like, that's not normal. I don't want that in my body. I'm glad it's gone. And so I look at that as being a preventative for stuff because I'm a smoker. I've smoked every fucking day for the past 30 years. I'm not going to stop until I'm dead. Okay. I like smoking. It's my vice. It gets me through this messed up world. It's what I rely on. Okay. Might not be the healthiest choice, but it is what it is. Nicotine, by the way, has a lot of benefits. I talked about this the other night in one of the live streams I did, where it's actually shown that nicotine can break down some of the components of cancer. And during COVID, if you remember, it was found that smokers were actually had some additional protections against COVID because whatever smoking did to someone's lungs actually gave them a little bit of protection. I'm not advocating smoking. I'm not saying it's good or healthy. I'm just saying it is what it is. Okay. But I do like the cleanses as a preventative. I want to get rid of the shit that's there because I know it's there. And then I do it as a preventative. Because if I know that I've seen videos of doctors like or morticians when they examine cadavers, right? They've said that basically everybody has cancer. We all have cancer. It's just that the tumors, the cancer isn't bad enough to negatively affect our health in a big way. But everybody has it because like every cadaver they opened up of supposedly healthy people had cancer, signs of cancer in there. So it's not for me, it's not a question of will I get cancer? It's like I already have cancer. I just accept I already have cancer. Like at some level, it's like, do you want to like maybe it's at a small level, not way up here, but it's there. It's a lurking. What is cancer? It's some kind of dis-ease, right? That's something that's not ease, which is health, right? So I just believe that I probably have it. So I want to keep a preventative where I like chop the head off the proverbial snake, the parasitic infections, that kind of shit, so things don't get out of hand. It's just kind of me. Anna says no one's willing to talk about wireless body area network and Bluetooth. I don't know what that is. I mean, I don't know what Bluetooth is, but I don't know what that is. I'll have to take a look at that. All right. Dan says, during COVID, I remember Dr. Fauci, I think is what you mean, recommended smokers to stop. Yeah. Yeah. No, I hate those guys. I mean, not hate them. I like zero respect, and they did a great disservice, and I have to question their motives on everything. Yeah, they sent the internet of bodies, probably with the shots. We got 5G. We got a lot of stuff. Easy bake oven tab thing. That's what I was talking. Sherry, to see you. Good to see you, Sherry. Easy bake oven, yes. Yeah, so it's like so if you don't know what a MAC address is, like in technology and networking, a MAC address is like your physical address. Like most people have a concept of internet addresses like IP addresses. Well, MAC addresses are like a lower level type of like your hardware address. So if we consider the possibility, I'm not saying this is the case, that things like the COVID shots had nanites or nanoparticles that basically self-assembled into some kind of thing that could be used to emit things. Basically, you could theoretically, you can with your mind, you should be able to like come up with the possibility that perhaps nefarious people out there want to control the masses at a better, more effective level than they have been able to up to now, and that would be a good way to do it. Some people who have taken the COVID stuff have regrets and they would like to detox. I don't know how to do that. I've seen stuff out there. There might not be a way to do it. There might be a way to, in a way, detox from the side effects, from the outcomes. I don't know. It would be interesting to take a look at that. But, all right, this is I think I'll probably end this here. It's Saturday. I got a bunch of stuff to do. I gotta watch what's going on in the protests. I might actually on this stream. I might just I might do a live stream on the protests. I might not because there are a ton of people doing it. Yeah. So Inna says nicotine and dewormers disrupt nanobots self-assembly. It could be. I was talking to somebody the other day, and we were just talking about different things like sexuality, testosterone, estrogen, all that kind of stuff, right? And I'm like, well, I mean, I haven't got my testosterone tested. I don't go to the doctor for hardly anything unless it's really bad. But I'm like, well, it's like I wake up with an erection in the middle of the night. I know too much information for some people, but for me, I know I'm still good. Like that's a good test for me. I'm still good. And I was talking with her, and she was like, did you know that nicotine actually helps with your testosterone levels? I was not aware of that. So that's one of the side effects, whether you smoke or you chew tobacco or whatever. I don't know if you get the same benefits with vaping. I tried vaping for a while. Actually, I do have concerns about vaping in general, just because I feel like a lot of it is a chemical delivery, and I don't like that. Like for me, when I smoke, I'll just hold this up here. So this is the brand of cigarettes I smoke. I smoke American Spirits, and I switched to these like, oh man, this is over 20 years ago. So I've smoked for like 30 years. For like 25 years, I've only smoked American cigarettes or American Spirit cigarettes. Now, they say that you can't say that a cigarette is healthier than another one. Okay? You just can't make claims like that, right? But I would say, okay, if I've got this, if I'm comparing this, which is just the only ingredients in this is tobacco. And then I were to hold up like a pack over here of Marlboros or Camels. Those have tobacco and a bunch of chemicals. So here I've got just tobacco, and here I've got tobacco and chemicals. Yeah, it might be hard to say that one thing is healthier than the other, but I guess I could say that the stuff with chemicals is worse than just the plain tobacco. Okay? That's just me. I'm not making a medical claim. Don't complain to YouTube gods, But I think it's most people would be like, well, if you were going to smoke, it's probably better to smoke the stuff that's just tobacco than the stuff that's tobacco plus a bunch of chemicals. And that's the thing I worry about vapes. That what else is in there besides nicotine? So, yeah, Tab says they've been putting tech in many vaccines since the late 80s. I would not doubt it. We are, it's been shown time and time again that the government they experiment on us without our knowledge or a consent. They do it. I was just seeing something today, like back in the 50s, they did a bunch of bullshit. They tested something out in California, I think it's San Francisco or LA, some kind of like biohazard, and several people died. They never notified anybody, never asked. We only find out about this decades later. So to think that it's not happening today at the same scale or even greater is just insane. The government has shown us for decades, like 70 years ago, that they were willing to do this. And this is, again, like you can look at like tests for like Agent Orange and shit. And you look at things like chemtrails. You look at things like the vaccines, the COVID shots, a whole bunch of stuff like GMO food, a whole bunch of stuff. And you got to ask yourself, like, are they not like almost intentionally doing something? And maybe this is part of it is like a widespread test. They're testing stuff like what works better. I don't know. Nicotine mints help me get my sense of taste and smell back. So that's cool to hear. I've never tried the mints. So that's that. So yeah, so nicotine's supposed to have a lot of benefits. Okay, so this must be in relation to the protests. Let me see if I can find this. So a man impersonating a police officer has shot at lawmakers. So this is, I don't know if this is part of the protest. I saw something happen today. Let's see, officer shooting. Was this the 2 Minnesota lawmakers that were shot? I saw something about this morning. I didn't really look at it a whole lot here, but maybe it was that. Was this like this is in? potentially that or something else. I don't know. Tab says tobacco is actually good for you. We have nicotine receptors in our body. All the added chemicals are not good for us. I would agree. If you think about it, like also smoking has been for millennia probably regarded as a very sacred thing, right? That there are a lot of cultures where smoking was viewed as being very beneficial, very sacred, right? All the chemicals that are added to it are not good. It's like if you could look at an apple and say an apple is healthy, and that's true unless it has a bunch of pesticides and crap, right? So it's the additives usually that get you. Yeah, I would agree with that comment. I don't know that I'm going to say that out loud for the AI algorithms on YouTube, but I would agree with that. So it's probably, I would say that what I smoke is better than other options. So here in Canada, the cannabis that the legal system sell is full of chemicals, and you're better to grow your own cannabis. Yeah, so that's part of the problem too. Like, and you have this in other things too, like wine. I don't really drink alcohol much anymore, hardly ever. But I used to drink wine every once in a while, and one of the things that would bother me would be the sulfites in the wine. And I think if you sell wine in the U.S., you have to have sulfites in your wine. Versus like Europe, you don't have it. So where things are legalized, like cannabis, they might say you can sell cannabis so long as it has this stuff in there, right? That's a possibility, and that's not good. So it might be better just to do your own. I've been looking for the Lion's Pride sound you played years ago. So I did. I had a video. Gary, good to see you. I think this was. I had a video that came out when I first launched this channel, actually. And let me see if I can find it, actually. I don't know if I did something. I don't know what happened to that video. That's probably what you're talking about. Because I was doing something in relation to us as a community at the time of COVID. And you're hearing an alert. I don't know if you can hear that. That's about UPS is here, Amazon's here. In Minnesota, Adventures. In Minnesota, yeah. So Tab, you're talking about the shooting. So this is let's just go to Fox live stream.
Appear people are staying inside. We just haven't seen any bodies on the ground. The only movement of vehicles have been law enforcement. So certainly people appear to be heeding orders this morning to shelter in place. We've seen, at least at my location, I know the FBI is involved, but for us, Anoka County, Champlin, Brooklyn
crazy.
Park, Hennepin County, the Hennepin County, one of the
So this was, Tab, you were saying that this is somebody was impersonating a police officer.
This neighborhood, but of course for people across our state. I do also want to say we've heard about the Brooklyn Park shelter in place still being there. It has not been lifted.
Here we go.
It's the foundation of our democracy.
Right, Agenda Free TV. This guy, I forget his name. Steve Lookner, I think is his name. I started watching him during the COVID time. He did a good job of covering WHO stuff. But man impersonating police officer shoots Minnesota lawmakers. So So I would expect that we see this kind of stuff, especially today. Today's the day of a ton of protests, right? Let me just get the comments up. They're covering my face there. It's a day of a ton of protests. So we could see a lot of crazy stuff pop off today. And so that's not good. I don't like, this is like the worst when you have people impersonating officials, whether they're law enforcement officers or the military or anybody, because intrinsically people in society, we have an innate trust of people that are wearing the uniform, whether it's a doctor or a member of the military or whatever. And so when something is done like this, it destroys that. It's not good. Yeah, a lot of fruit is coated So I've seen stuff where you can, like, if you have this stuff and it's a pain in the butt to do, like I rarely do. I try to buy organic fruits and vegetables whenever possible, and organic meat. Why is my head cut off there? And organic meat whenever possible, and dairy. It's not always possible, but I try to do it whenever I can. Veggies too, same thing. Vaccine encodes a message in the DNA to create opsin, however you pronounce that thing. Crazy. That stuff is so advanced. Like, the people that know our bodies are extremely complex. And if people want to manipulate that and leverage that, I think we're at the point where they know enough to at least give it a good shot and at least try, Yeah, it wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't surprise me. Okay, so I don't know. You guys have probably had this happen, but like, this is weird to me. Like, if I'm thinking about something, I don't even say it out loud. Okay, I think about something and then I start to type a Google search or a YouTube search or something. Often the first suggested match is exactly what I was thinking, and sometimes I'll be thinking things that shouldn't be popular. So I'm like, why is this happening? So with phones, like with Apple devices, if you hold two phones close together, you can share like photos and contact information. That it's called near field communication. So I gotta, and right now, it's been said that Apple and Tesla both are working on thought reading, mind reading technology, that it doesn't require you to get a chip. It's just something that is in close proximity to you, like if you're wearing a pair of glasses, for example. So it makes me wonder, like, is this stuff in our phones, since we know near field communication can be used to transfer data between phones, is this stuff being used nefariously in any way to try to, I guess, detect our thoughts? I don't know. It would be very beneficial. Like, the more that an algorithm, that AI, that a corporation knows my thoughts, the better they're able to market to me. And I got to tell you, Facebook, the ads, they're pretty effective. Like, they've got me down to a T, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's interesting. I would like that. I just find it interesting. Yeah, tips, Steve Lookner. Yeah, he's very left. He is left leaning. I have to give him a ton of credit though. Like, his channel says agenda free TV, and for being a lefty, he does a really good job of trying to not pick a side. I give him major kudos for doing this. Okay. And I tuned into him a lot during COVID. Then I stopped watching him because I was like, well, there's nothing to watch, nothing I care about. And then he just started coming back up on my feed again with relation to like the anti-ICE protests. So kind of interesting. All right, I'm going to leave it here, guys. It's 11 a.m. Central Time. Thank you guys for joining wherever you are from. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully, we will not see mass issues on in the States or anywhere in relation to like the protest stuff, because it could get pretty nasty. But you never know. We never know what's going to happen. I'll see you guys at some point soon. There are a lot of topics I want to talk about, here, that I just find interesting. And if you haven't joined, consider joining the Discord, because post a link, or you can check out the links that have been posted to stuff that might be interesting or helpful to you. Yeah. So Dan B says the contents of the air trails, like the contrails or the chemtrails, aid in tech. It wouldn't surprise me. This is all like woo-woo stuff, or they're, the tin foil hat wearing conspiracy theorists. That's the realm. But I feel like it's the world that we live in, where conspiracy and science fiction are either reality or they're very close to becoming reality. So, Anna says vaccines all about installing the wireless area network. Yeah, it's messed up. Great to see you again, Tab. You guys take care. Have a wonderful weekend. I will catch you sometime soon about some topic. And whenever I like the live streams because I like the feedback versus me just doing a video that's pre-recorded, because we can kind of go where you guys want, like a stream of consciousness from my side and your side. So if you have an interest in something, you want to bring up a topic, it's good. Like we can just go there, watch a video, read an article or whatever. And I kind of like that stuff. All right, good to see that you joined, Tab. Definitely check things out. And if you have anything you want to add, Tab, feel free, post it. And if you think we should create a new category in there, new channel, let me know. We can do that. All right, have a great day, everyone. You guys take care. Thanks.